Pepe
right.
here. We're just about ready. Just need a ready from Koryan. We can get this
Japan
underway.
versus Argentina. This is awesome.
All right.
I love being able to say that. Wow.
The winner of this match will go into the grand finals against Dog Playing Tetris. So let us get this underway. Chris, you want to try this one more time, you and me?
Will do.
All right, you just go for it, and I'll come in. Like, you
All
don't
right.
even think about me. Ready?
3,
2, 1.
1.
Tetris!
Tetris. And here you have number 13 seed Koryan versus number 29 seed Pepe. Pepe from Argentina, Koryan from Japan. And Koryan being a legendary hyper tapper and a veteran of multiple versions of Tetris, not just NES Tetris, but other games like the Grandmaster arcade series of games by Eureka. And I haven't mentioned this until now, but there's ELO's odd predictions for this. And it says that Koryan is a strong favorite with an 85% chance of winning.
Now, 85% is only 85%, though. That means sometimes 15% does happen. So you can't count anybody out here. But yeah, ELO is a ranking system, sort of like what chess has, that sort of takes players' match history and then puts that into a relative ranking system. So
yeah,
you
I've
can
been
sort of predict.
learning more about ELO. I heard it's based on a chess ranking system, and Kasparov was like had the highest ELO of anything in existence, like 3,000 or something.
That's right. And I think actually Koryan probably has achieved the highest ELO that there ever was. Although I think maybe Joseph's is higher currently, but Koryan was probably the peak ELO. Somebody check me on that. Rory? Pumpy? 129 for Koryan here, 142 for Pepe.
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought that with the stats that we had in the early years, that it would be Jonas with the high rate of victories.
Well, I think it was just a volume issue there. The Koryan is much more online competitive.
Active, right, in the online matches. Koryan opting for a triple there. And Pepe up to an early lead. Those small, like at 52,000. Koryan battling it back.
So here are the online facts coming in, Chris. Actually, Koryan and Joseph are tied for the peak highest ever ELO in the ELO ranking system at 2087. So
wow.
So really, it's going to come down to what happens this weekend. Who will end up, but they're pretty darn close to that level right now. So that's all the nerdy ELO stuff, and I promise you never have to hear about that again, folks. No, but it's actually really fascinating because it allows you to sort of confirm, some of your suspicions about, who's kind of better, who's that kind of thing, and settle some arguments, or at least start some arguments.
And the other online facts here, just nice trivia, like favorite games, and list Super Mario 64 for Pepe. And we all know that Koryan's a Sonic fan. So we got Sonic versus Mario here at this. Argentina versus Japan, Sonic versus Mario. Cycling versus running. So cycling being Koryan's hobby and running being Pepe.
288 for Koryan here, 261 for Pepe. Pepe Tetris is 283, back by 4,000 points. Pretty similar long bar line count.
Neck and neck.
More ELO than you can handle.
It's fascinating. And I heard when they did ELO, like they would even build these computers to try to beat Kasparov, and they would have ELO rankings for the computer trying to beat the chess master.
That's right. So it's kind of you kind of need these statistics and ways to get fans in arguments in order to legitimize something as a sport, Oh,
it's great because being able to talk about it intelligently and have kind of like predictions can become part of the competitive culture.
Yeah, exactly right. And people are they guard their ELO a little bit. They're like, well, I don't know if I want to play this match against somebody in a friendly
And
format.
as the years pass, like as players retire, you'll have people talk about, well, could X player have beaten Y player?
Sure.
And use that data. So all of this data is going to serve us going long into the future for future generations of Tetris superstars.
Yeah, exactly. This whole thing is not a flash in the pan kind of thing. This stuff is here to stay, and every year, and really just every month, it just gets more and more legitimate as an esport for sure.
With more exposure and more ways for people to play it now with Tetris Effect Connected and us being on ESPN, it really made me happy when I heard that Uncle Mike and
Anna D.
Anna, right, had actually seen it on ESPN, and that's how they found out it was the thing. So they're like, whoa, people play this competitively, and just that moment thinking, imagining people watching it on ESPN and seeing it for the first time, and then getting excited about it because it's something that they did.
Yeah.
Like, that's super cool, just even thinking about that.
Yeah, same thing with Matt Martin, who was top 8 finisher last year.
Right.
Same kind of stories with Joseph. So, all right, we've transitioned here. Koryan at 529. Pepe about to transition. He's at 386 right now. So Koryan's got a
big lead, yeah.
Very sizable lead. But I think as we've learned time and time again, still a lot of Tetris to be played on level 19, and these early leads don't always necessarily assure a victory. Can Koryan come back from a 200,000 point deficit already in this?
Koryan having a super clean play field and really getting the rhythm back. We're not seeing him in Dig City like he was the last other few games. He's just really on pace here. Having to take a couple of triples, but boom Tetris for Pepe. Koryan firing back with another Tetris. Still up 150,000 points at 632,000 points versus Pepe's 483.
Great couple simul Tetrises here. Both players with clean fields. Pepe's getting less so, but gets that Tetris. That'll help.
Pepe's got some holes. He's going to have to... For a while, it looks like he's going to build on top. He just kind of stopped playing there.
All right, Koryan missed a T-spin. Oh, Pepe's going to top out.
Yeah.
543.
Pepe was long from dead, but I think he just saw the score deficit and maybe figured it would be more worth it for him to save his energy for the next round.
Yeah,
that's the only explanation I can think of. But GG's.
All right, Koryan with a heart.
I mean, that takes a certain amount of awareness to know that you can't catch up at that point. Yeah, Pepe was nowhere near topping out, and he just kind of let it go. But we'll see what happens in this next round. It says he's a DAS player, so it wasn't an endurance issue.
Well, it's possible he just kind of lost DAS or something, and then just kind of couldn't recover it.
I think he just kind of walked away in terms of continuing the match.
All right, well, we got it ready on both sides. Let's get it underway. Should probably do this. I don't know if I've done this. Yeah, show the thing, Vandweller. All right, I will. There they are. All right, read that real fast, and then we start the countdown.
The summary is Sonic versus Mario.
That's right. I mean, that's pretty much everything you need to know.
Japan versus Argentina. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And it's really good seeing Koryan just doing really well in the tournament. I know a lot of people were cheering for him last year, but there was so many favorites. Only so many people can win every year, and Koryan's come really close many times.
Yeah, of course, a finalist last year against who ended up being the two-time winner, Joseph Saley. Of course, was he top 4 in 2018? I believe he was top 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, I watch it. You think I would remember, you know. I deal with this stuff every day, all the time. You'd think I'd remember, but getting old, Chris.
You're only as old as you feel.
Oh, well, and I must be like 70 because that's how I feel. All right. 70,000 here in the early goings for Koryan, 50,000 for Pepe. Pepe going to Tetris zone, bring it right back to even.
Neck and neck. Koryan, nice clean play field. He reacts to his own last second spin there. Fortunate. Feeling fortunate that it all worked out.
Yeah, Koryan definitely one to let at least his joy come through. He's always a great sportsman and competitor.
Mm-hmm.
Great sportsmanship from Koryan. Really a model, I think, for everybody who's watching and wants to compete in anything.
Oh, definitely. I'm looking at the online facts here, and he lists having high scores in Gamist and Arcadia magazine. Some of those are like a Japanese magazine that I used to follow. It's like a legendary game magazine for gaming, high scores and arcade games. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. And he has Cardcaptor Sakura Tetris listed, which I think that's like my second favorite Tetris game because it's like the Grandmaster without like being hard like the Grandmaster. Also by Eureka.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Koryan's Tetris resume is deep, that's for sure.
Yeah, probably the most accomplished out of every variation of Tetris that you can play. He's played the most of them and performed competitively well at the most of them, even if they didn't have competitions on them.
Yeah. All right, so Koryan 209. Pepe kind of keeping pace here, 190, so not falling too far behind his Pepe.
Pepe waiting for... Okay, he's not going to wait for the J, so he opted to use the long bar there instead. Koryan opening up a bit of a lead now. 80,000 points, 278,000 points versus Pepe's 199.
Yeah, Pepe was kind of forced to complicate his board a bit just with the way he had it set up, and then relative to the pieces it came, it just kind of thrust him into this burning situation, and now he's falling even further and further behind. And yeah, kind of some placements here that maybe forced into, but not happy about, you can tell.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, he's got a dirty well set up right there. Boom, Tetris for Pepe. It's a good, well thought out dirty well. He saw it coming and he did what he needed to score there. All right, he's set up again for the traditional well on the right side. But Koryan's about 100,000 points ahead now. 331,000 points versus Pepe's 256. He just gets a Tetris there, so reducing the deficit slightly. But Koryan's just building super clean, super consistent, not doing a whole lot of burning. This is what he needed.
Yeah, Koryan looking for a rematch with Dog. And actually, he's looking for 2 rematches with Dog if he wants to go all the way. But still got to get through Pepe here. And Pepe, I'm sure, has a lot to say about that.
Yeah, Pepe playing really calm right now and not really making any mistakes. Just on track, but Koryan having such a big lead.
Yeah, Pepe's closed that lead a little bit here, though.
Yeah, he's got 20 lines to transition. And he has a nice, clean field now. This is a good time for him to make the most of it.
Right, he's going to have to build up a little bit more. Koryan's already ready. And Koryan's going to Tetris. Pepe ready now. And he'll Tetris too. So 55,000 point lead for Koryan.
Yeah, Koryan not letting up much. He did take a double there, but other than that, he's 1 line away from transition. sure if he's gonna try to. Okay, he is gonna go for Tetris. And there it is. Boom, Tetris for Koryan into level 19. 77,000 points ahead with 543,000. Ooh, he had a couple of misdrops there. Waiting for a long bar. That's the only thing that can save this board for him. And it's not giving it to him.
No.
Koryan's going to top out there. After having such a clean game, that's devastating. So
Right.
Pepe's in a chase down situation. Not a very hard one. His board's looking good.
Yeah, so he needs to get to 544. 544 is what he needs. And Pepe, of course, really has been in several chase down situations now. 2 against Nerddzz, and he did the right thing. He just kind of,
Lined it out.
That's right. Took the pieces as they came, took the points that the game gave him, and he's really just under 2 Tetrises away now.
But yeah, it might have been a hand fatigue situation. I saw like a misdrop and then it snowballed on Koryan's screen, and it was fixable, but sometimes if you know it's hard to fix and it's just like if you know your limitations and you don't feel like you can get it over, then that's kind of what I saw there. Kind of what I saw happen to Pepe the last round, actually, where it's just like, well,
Yeah.
I could save it, but it's probably not going to happen.
There is a definite physical and psychological toll. I mean, that is present, I think, in this version that maybe isn't present or at least present in a different way in the in-person version of this tournament.
Pepe missing a shift there. He can still fix it. I mean, he's not that far away from the chase down. He only needs one Tetris or a couple of triples. Yeah, I know about the fatigue. Like, most video games I could play almost endlessly, but I've run some really long streams of this, and I'm a hyper tapper. And even though I have pretty good endurance, like once it hits about like 12 or 13 hours, like I just can't play anymore.
Wait, were you playing 13 hours? What are you doing?
Yeah, back when I was doing the NES Tetris effect, where I was superimposing Tetris on top of Tetris effect. Ooh, yep, there it is with the 100 points. Yeah. I'll do it.
Now, did you consult your doctor before you did that?
I should have consulted my psychiatrist, because the kind of mental damage I was doing to myself with NES RNG was probably more damaging than what I did to my hands. But I will say this. That was like back in November. That was about a year ago, where I played really hard, like trying to get back up to speed. And I was making like new PBs that were in the high 500s. And I stopped playing. I don't know. I had to deal with some other things. I started playing again like last week, and my tapping was just the same as it was a year ago. So I was pleased with that. So I'm hoping to progress and offer you a decent challenge rather than getting destroyed.
Oh, believe me, you would not be destroyed. I am like, certified choke artist by the Choke Artist Institute. All right, I think, look at this. We got Gangster Koryan
getting
now.
Prepped.
That's right.
They need to do their hands and make sure that everything's, as Alexei Pajinov would say, do your fingers.
That's right. Now the do-rag is on and Koryan is out for blood.
Wow, there's an icon for that in chat. That's great.
That's right. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Koryan's in town. And they are ready, so let us just get it going.
Three, 2, 1. Tetris. And yeah, our online chat's going wild.
Oh, with the emoji.
Yeah, Koryan emote. That's so cool.
And of course, you can get that emote if you want it. You just got to subscribe here to Classic Tetris. We've had several people give away subscriptions here, so we'll certainly call them out after these matches. So thank you so much to those of you who are hanging with us here in the Twitch chat live. Couldn't do it without you.
Yeah, we're scoring back and forth early on. Nothing too unusual as of yet. But yeah, we are nearing the end of a long day too, so there's that. And both players from non-standard time zones compared to where we are, so they're kind of playing according to a North American broadcast schedule.
Yeah, and of course Koryan, I mean, really has the worst of it. I mean, just having to get up
Yeah.
at 5-6 a.m. I mean, for my competitions, we usually start at like noon Central Time, and for him that's like 2 a.m. and also for Nenu, and you know, it's even earlier. So I mean, props to these guys, you know, to stay involved. And you know, we're trying to get more sensitive to the fact that we have so many players coming out of Asia now, taking part in the online scene, that we've moved some of it around, even more so than Europe, to be honest, which I would have expected. But yeah, huge number of players coming from Asia right now. $150 for Koryan, 72 for Pepe. Pepe got some burning to do here. Koryan, yeah, with about 100,000 point lead now.
Mm-hmm.
Koryan kind of struggling with the towel. I think I have a situation where I get kind of sweaty hands as, you know, I get kind of tense, and maybe that's the same kind of thing for him.
It could be just, an intensity thing, because the hand wipes are increasing in frequency. But, I mean, we see players play through that, no problem. Especially, you know, Joseph does a lot of that and hasn't held him back one bit.
Yeah. Well, I've seen, you know, you mentioned Dog playing Tetris, you know, taking his hands off the controller. He did that earlier as well, like both hands off the controller, wiping on his shirt. So now, don't they make something called Gamer Grip or something like that, where it's kind of like a chalk, kind of sticky, tacky something? Maybe we need to. Here's a sponsorship opportunity for you, Chris. Maybe you can sponsor some sort of gamer tack or whatever.
I don't use anything like that.
Oh, well,
I just
well, it doesn't mean you can't endorse it. That's to see. You got to learn.
I go raw back.
That's right.
No gloves, no towel. Just
That's right.
air skin to plastic.
Yeah, so we got to get you the right representation, Chris. Here, get you the opportunities which you're, you know, entitled to, in my opinion. So we'll talk after the broadcast. 316 for Koryan, 158 for Pepe. Pepe Tetris is a 181, so still back about 134,000 from Koryan now.
Yeah, that's sizable. Yeah, Pepe's gonna have to turn on the aggression here. We're about halfway to transition.
Well, in a lot of ways, though, I mean, his big advantage here is sort of the chase down. So maybe he's just gonna, you know, try to stay safe.
We've seen that.
Yeah,
you're right.
And maybe just try to hope something happens, you know, befalls Koryan, and then just go from there.
That's a variable. Like the chase down situation. If you look at Pepe's chase down record, that's a good chase down record.
Yeah, unflappable. I mean, I was fold like a house of cards, but, or is that the right analogy? Whatever. But he, you know, whatever. Just like, yeah, I got to get 200,000 points, no problem. And it is not trivial, you know. Oh, nice Tetris from Koryan, 437 for him, 265 from Pepe. That chase down ability and that chase down is not trivial. It's not a gimme. It's not like, oh, pressure's off. There's still a lot of pressure, and it's also kind of distracting to players even to know that their opponent is topped out.
Yeah. Gives you one more variable to think about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Pepe setting up dirty in the 8th column.
Yeah, that's aggressiveness. He needs that. Just boom, Tetris for Pepe. But Koryan's lead's growing. It's almost 200,000. Now it's 215,000. 509,000 points versus Pepe's 300. And Koryan not letting up. Tetris raining down now. 230,000 point lead. Approaching transition now. Next two Tetrises.
Pepe trying to get his board somewhere where it's comfortable for transition. If you can get that long bar down the left side, it'll go a long way towards Al. They'll still have a lot to burn away on the right side, so not out of the woods.
Koryan's hit level 19 now. Still up about 250,000 points, which is one of the biggest deficits we've seen thus far in the competition.
Look at Pepe going for it.
Yeah.
And he's going to need the long bar pretty darn soon. And I think he's waiting till he's got one in the window. And where's the long bar for Pepe?
Yeah, he's pushing it.
He's open again. Where's the long bar? There's the long bar. Boom, Tetris for Pepe. Yeah.
So that worked out. It was risky, but that's what you need to do. Koryan now up by over 300,000 points. 317,000 point lead for Koryan. So it's going to start getting to the point where Pepe might not be able to catch up, but that's what he needs to do. He made a Tetris just there, and he's just going to need to keep that aggression up.
Yep. He's going to have to try to stay somewhere within shouting distance, and again, hope that something befalls Koryan and just be able to, steal himself and chase it down. And in a lot of ways, you got to kind of just keep going all in on Tetris's here, and even if it's highly risky, you kind of do it and then just say, all right, well, if it doesn't work out, we got another game I can play. But
Pepe's been clean, and he has been scoring consistently. He just got 3 in a row, so this is where Pepe needs to be.
Yeah, of course, Koryan, on the other hand, can play the totally opposite game where he can be completely conservative and does not have to take any risks.
He's not letting up, though. There's another Tetris. And 272k ahead of Pepe.
Yeah, we saw that before where, sometimes it's easier to just, not change gears and just stay in your rhythm.
And Pepe's not feeling it.
No.
Looks like he's putting his controller down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to give that one up. So Koryan now with match point here in the second chance bracket.
All right, Koryan is good. Yes, you can go ahead and there he goes. Tops out. Now we're getting a report from Vince that Koryan did use some kind of gamer chalk in 2015 and that he shared the chalk with Vince. So maybe Vince has a secret stash of this gamer chalk. I'm going to talk to you after the broadcast, Vince. Yeah, what helps me is when I play, I have a fan directly on my hands. Like this, that way it's just like super cold hands are perfect for me. All right, Pepe.
Yeah, I think it's more muscle aches that would be the first thing to go for me.
Yeah. All right.
But that's after like 10 hours.
All right, Koryan up 2-1. Is that right? 2-1?
Yeah, 2-1.
That's right.
3, 2, 1, Tetris. So yeah, match point here for Koryan, up by 1. And yeah, Pepe needs to win this game to stay in it.
If he can do it, he'll force a decider, and then the winner of that would go...
Koryan had 1 pushdown point.
Shades of 2019.
Yep.
But yeah, Dog is awaiting. Oh, shit, he's doing the emote, right?
Just in case it ends up being a tie.
But yeah, shades of 2019, and then of course Dog is waiting in the wings, having gone undefeated in the winners bracket, waiting to play the winner of this. And it was funny because a lot of folks were saying, I can't wait for Dog and Koryan, Dog and Koryan. Of course, you were not assured to have a Dog and Koryan.
You're gonna get more Dog and Koryan
than you can handle, right? So yeah, at least well, we'll see. I mean, we at least got one, and then we'll see what Pepe is able to do. But certainly would like to be able to prevent that from happening.
Pepe's a survivor, right? Seen him in the chase down, and that's gonna be another stat we'll probably have to start keeping track of.
Yeah, something to do with chase downs, but really nerves of steel, and really impressive performance from Pepe just in that regard. Against a very good player, Leslie, Nerdzzz, right? I mean, to outlast a player like that, that's an accomplishment in itself. So we shall see what happens for Pepe here, but for now, Koryan's got a 44,000 point lead.
And yeah, definitely more hand wiping than previous rounds.
Yeah.
But Koryan's playing well, so.
Fatigue definitely a factor, especially in double elimination. I mean, ultimately, these players are trying to get from the top 64 to the top 8, which normally is, 3 games worth, 3 matches in a normal bracket. But here you got to play a lot of matches to get that
Yeah.
deep. So
I mean, I've seen people say that hyper tapping has no disadvantage, but if we expand to like a much bigger bracket, and in order to survive all the rounds, if you have like 120 players or something someday, that complexion might change, and a hyper tapper might have to play like 30 games to get one from one end of the bracket to the other, and that might take a toll on the player. So that might have an advantage, and I really think that a player that can utilize both skills is going to be the one to rise to the top in the end.
Now we've seen Sharky do some of that. Well, I don't think that's a spoiler. We saw Sharky last week, and he did some of that. I don't think that's giving away too much.
I mean, like any athlete, managing yourself physically and mentally is important.
Yeah, no doubt. 313 Koryan, 273 for Pepe. Koryan Tetris's 336. Pepe building up high here, trying to get as many points really on 18 as he can, where at least it would be a little more, I think, equal between him and Koryan.
Yeah. Generally close game here, though. Pepe's in striking distance.
Nice delayed burns from Pepe here. Keep from having to build too high or leave gaps.
Right. I see him trying to stay away from being too dependent.
Well, that's the name of the game, I mean, in a lot of ways, is just making sure that your stack can sort of live to fight another day and weather all kinds of RNG. I think we saw, again, I don't want to refer too much to last week, but we definitely saw some circumstances where players kind of went all in on pieces that didn't come. So if you can leave yourself some flexibility, then that adds to your survivability, and that plays right into what Pepe would be able to do here in terms of survival and chase downs and all that.
As we cross 100 line threshold, Koryan pulling ahead by just a bit now, up by 2 Tetrises. Getting droughted, 30. He finally gets the long bar. Boom, Tetris for Koryan. And stacking high enough for another one there. Koryan now up by 73,000 at 487,000 points versus Pepe's 413,000. Koryan set up a T-spin well there, and the T didn't come, so he's gonna skim it off the top with a couple of singles and burn back down to get clean, giving Pepe a chance to catch up a bit. Now Koryan's lead diminished to 1 Tetris at 500,000 points. Pepe at 465k. And we're going to transition with this next, whoever makes this next Tetris. They both simul Tetris and both hit level 19. Both play fields safe after transition. Koryan still up by 1 Tetris.
Yeah, not a big lead for Koryan here going into level 20.
Right, not nearly like the last round.
No, not at all.
Pepe can play a bit more like he had.
Yeah, but of course, once Koryan sort of gets into locked-in Koryan mode, I mean, and Pepe with the left side, kind of going all in on a long bar now.
He's not looking too happy there. He can get a couple of things laid flat. If he can get something to the left side.
Oh, no, and he misses them.
Yeah.
Oh, no, and Koryan is good and will defeat Pepe 3-1.
So Koryan battles his way out of the second chance bracket, back to fight Dog in our grand finals. But Pepe, with what a showing, surviving so many situations where he was on the ropes and getting a good position here in the bracket in Group C.
Yeah, congratulations to you, Pepe. What a run you had. I think it was a really impressive run, and you really showed us a lot here. And so I think, again, as I've been saying, just getting into this tournament was an accomplishment with so many people, who over 100 people tried to qualify and didn't. So I think even getting into this point, impressive. A great performance in qualifying, at least with one max out for Pepe. So something not a lot of folks can claim that they've done. And
he's also played a lot of matches, compared to other players.
Yeah, and played a lot of matches. So congratulations to you, Pepe. It was great to have you, and that's awesome, man. So let's see. I think let me bring the bracket over here, and we'll let that refresh here.